Hello. So today I'm gonna try to play a brand new game, and it looks super cool. It's called The Portal at Hill House by Travis D. Hill and Lindy M. Ferris Hill. And oh my goodness, just like skimming over this beforehand and like reading the synopsis. Very excited. So The Portal at Hill House. Now let's make this bigger because I am blind. Not genuinely, but... No, don't do that. There we go. Okay, so you've heard of this house for many years, but never sought it out. Assuming the endeavor wouldn't be worth your time, or even worse, that you would finally... Oh. Or even worse, that you would find exactly what you always feared. Yet something drew you towards its estate. A power, a thread dangling from the unwinding hem of a shirt, longing to be pulled. Reason and history warned you not to make the journey, not to cave to those newly formed, yet eons-old desires, to seek out the house. However, here you are. After miles of dangerous off-path driving, your car sputters at the edge of the woods, finally giving out. Apparently, you must make the final part of your journey on foot. You hesitantly climb out of the car, grab your bag full of small useful items, and then begin the slow walk out of the forest. At least, you hope it is the way out. An hour passes, the sun has begun setting, and you see a gap between the trees. You exit the woods, shielding your eyes from a bright orange setting of the sun, and in the near distance there it stands, looming. Hill House. As you approach, a bright flash blows apart the dusk sky. A large rip appears, purple and beautiful and terrifying. Oh, I'm so excited. I like that the portal's purple. I just like purple. I think it's a cool color. So, in the portal at Hill House, you are a solitaire wanderer brought to the ancient house for an unknown reason. Here you find an interdimensional portal has opened. For the sake of humanity, it must be closed, but you do not know how nor where to find the necessary tools. Instead of wisely turning around, you feel drawn in, unable to turn away. Instead, you place one foot in front of the other, step by step, making your way to the front porch. You're in front of Hill House, unable to escape. Okay, so for this game you need a journal or pieces of paper, which we will use a Google Doc. But 1 second while I get that up. So you need a journal or pieces of paper, a writing utensil, and a 6-sided die, and then a normal deck of cards. And that's it. And then the game explains what to do and whatnot. Okay. Oh, you can look at this. So, yeah, it's a solitaire journaling game of cosmic horrors, which just sounds super, super neat. Why is Google Docs still loading? There I am. I found me. So, before we even get started, as you stand before Hill House, you take in its details, the cracked chunks of concrete, wood stripping off the sides, broken bits of illustrious beauty now lost to age, weather, and time. What else do you see? So, my Hill House is going to, and it has these nice questions that like help you out if you don't know how to describe the house. It kind of steers you in the right direction, which I think is super cool. But so now, okay, nope, I haven't done that yet. Describe the house. So this house, I imagine it is like 1800s Victorian-ish. It's 2 stories tall. Definitely seen better days, you know. As it said, the paint was, or the wood was stripping off the sides. Probably the concrete on like the front porch is like cracked in half. It's got nice beams that used to support the house, but now they've kind of bowed a little bit, and it leaves the awning over the porch just a little bit droopy. And so it's definitely not a house that would really catch very many people's eye unless you're looking for old houses and you just look at it and be like, it's an old house. I imagine that the paint used to be some bright hue of like a very bright yellow, but it's faded to the point that it's almost white and the paint's chipped off so much that it's hard to even tell if it was yellow or if it's if it used to be a different color entirely, and this is just how the weather has affected it. So now that we have an exterior description of the house, turn your perspective inside. So here they actually have an example house, and I think I'm going to use that instead of just creating our own. I've gone ahead and numbered them all as it details that you should do. And so then it looks like you come up to the very first roll of the game. Let's just new. So here we are going to roll the 6-sided dice 3 times. Five. Parchment. Has that opened yet? Yes. Parchment. And then we will have, oh, it's gonna roll for me. Nice. Second roll for Ancient Elements. 5. Campier. I'm not quite sure what that is, but I will look it up. Nice. And then Arcane Artifact. Oops. Another 5. Oh my goodness, that's 3 5s in a row. Arcane Artifact is H's breath. His breath. I know I can do it that way. I just didn't want to. Okay, so while I wait on that to catch up to me, write down the item's name, number, and suit. Okay, so the first one is heart. Oh, has this not done this yet? Oh, Google Docs are having a hard time today and I don't know why. I don't care. Oh, it's just being angry, isn't it? Good. Well, while that sorts itself out. So these are the items you need to seal the portal. You're not entirely sure what they look like or where they are, but you do know they are what is needed to seal it. If you gather all 3 items before the time runs out, you seal the portal, preventing it from swallowing up you, the house, and the entire Earth. Did it really just open a brand new Google Doc? Okay. That's fine, because I needed to write more stuff down anyway. Material, object. Maybe I just write it down in real life. It's not that important. It'll be okay. Okay, before you begin, you must set up the different aspect decks for each location in Hill House. Remove the jokers. Yeah, I'm just gonna write down anything I need to, because that's just not gonna work apparently. And that's okay. There we go. So you remove the jokers, separate out the individual card suits, which I have also done. Shuffle the individual stacks of card suits face down. Okay, I haven't shuffled them yet. Not very good at shuffling cards, but it'll have to do. Then after we do this, we'll place down the face down decks in this order. Okay, these are hearts, so hearts go first. Then clubs. Shuffled. So hearts, then clubs. Then diamonds. Diamonds. Bird. And then our clubs. Or spades. Our spades. Shuffle one joker into the face down spades deck. Okay. Discard the other. Alright. So then we'll begin investigating locations, I suppose, huh? So I venture into this house. You know, it's drawn me inside. And I can't, you know, even if I wanted to, I don't think I could stop walking forward into this house. Like, there's just that strong of a pull over me. And choose a location to enter and circle the number. Okay. Choose a location to enter. So it makes sense to enter from the from the front door. So then we would go out into the terrace. So I venture into the terrace and I draw one card from heart, club, and diamonds. Reveal the cards and reference them with location aspects on pages 12 to 13. Okay. I got an 8 of hearts, a ace of clubs, and a queen of diamonds. When you reveal a card, check it on the chart below. So this should be, let's do purple. So the ambiance of the terrace. I got an 8 of hearts. Ooh, circle. Grim and seething. So, you know, as I enter this terrace, the aura just feels off. And in this location, I got an ace of clubs. And you know, I walk up, excuse me. I walk up and I think that it's rather odd to see a piano on the terrace. And I think that might add to the grimness of it all. You know, this house looks pretty dilapidated, pretty torn down or run down, and it's kind of eerie. So then we'll do the queen of diamonds, and this ground is covered in papers. And, you know, with the piano right there, I imagine that these papers are just oodles and oodles of, you know, sheet music. and various notes just writing scrawled all over them. Bits is torn in half and crumpled up, but it's just littered. The terrace is littered in papers. Probably mostly sheet music, yeah. And... okay. Go back up, please. Thank you. That would be wonderful. Okay, so describe exactly what you find, which is what I just did. Instead of, writing it down, I'm gonna tell it to you. And if you reveal a card that is one of the items you need to seal the portal, oh, that's what I needed to do, is mark the items. Luckily, it was easy to remember because they are all 5s. Parchment. Campier. H's breath. Oops. Okay. Nice. So... after you completed your journal entry, discard your cards to the side. Okay? Discard it. If you've recovered one of the items you needed to seal the portal, keep that specific card in front of you. Reveal the top card in the spades deck. I got a 2 of spades. So then we're going to reference the spades. Ace through 10. Continue exploring. So we continue exploring. So then let's pull up the map real quick. And I imagine, we'll venture past the terrace into the hall. And in the hall, so yeah, I think you just continue that way until either time runs out or you just continue exploring. Yeah, nice. Okay, heart, club, diamond. Okay, so I got the King of Hearts. So as I enter the hall, the grim, seething aura of the terrace turns into, this turbulent, noxious ambiance. The smell is just putrid. I can't even believe that something this vile exists. And so then with the 6 of clubs in the hallway, there's a round table covered in an old, ragged, cloth. And we'll just have to remember that that's 6 and not 7. And then, very, very fitting that this room would be disordered and unclean. So, I walk into the hall and immediately my nose is just flooded with this just horrible putrid odor. And I'm looking around to see what could possibly be the cause. And I see this round table that's covered in an old ragged cloth, and I walk up to it, very, very, with my hand covering my mouth and my nose as to not try to make the smell any worse. I think the smell of my hand might be considerably better than this smell. And I peek under the cloth and I see whatever the source of this smell is, probably some rotten animal that has crawled up in there and died and has just begun to decompose. And so then yeah, and everything about the hall is just generally unclean. Jack. The progression of time. Reveal an additional card. And I got a 5. Continue exploring. So, I make my way through the hall, and something catches my eye in the living room. And so, I make my way over to the living room where... Why is that happening? Don't like that. Yeah, I make my way over to the living room, and everything in this room is just covered in old paint. Oh, no. That's wrong. That's wrong. Everything in this room is fragrant and jaundiced. So, you know, just like the outside of the house, the interior is also yellowing. Well, I guess it's opposite of the outside of the house. The house used to be yellow on the outside, and now that's faded and you can barely tell it's yellow, but the inside did not used to be yellow, and it very much is now. But there is definitely some sort of scent in the living room, and an enormous monolith made of rock, 100 feet high. So let's just scroll up real quick and make sure. So what were my cards? Heart of Parchment, Club of Campier, Diamond of Age's Breath. Okay. Okay, so yeah. Covered in old paint is not it. However, we did get the ground is covered in plaster and wood. So, I imagine that, you know, walking into the living room, I smell probably plaster and wood. That's probably the fragrance that's in this room. You know, the walls, the paint on the walls has all begun to yellow, and this overwhelming smell of plaster and wood supersedes the rotting corpse in the hall. And right in the middle of the living room, taking up probably 75% of the room, an enormous monolith made of rock 100 feet high, which I don't know how that's exactly going to work. The house must be very tall. Yeah, so then we'll see if we continue. I got a 3 of spades. We will continue to explore. How do I know if I find the item? That's what I want to know. Whoa. Oh. So I shouldn't be looking for parchment. I should be looking for these specific cards. So let me just look real quick. Alright. So I have not rolled any or drawn any 5s other than the 5 of spades, so I'm actually good. Nice. That's awesome. So I am doing it right. I like that. I was worried for a second that I was doing it wrong, because I was like, wow, I'm understanding this. I don't... am I really understanding it? Turns out I am. Okay. So I've gone into the living room, and you know, I'll venture back through the hall to the dining room on the first floor. And you know, as I approach the dining room, you know, the ambiance just, it makes me quiver. I don't know why that keeps happening. Quivering, reeking. And what is it that causes me to feel this way? Nothing but the 10 of clubs. A desk covered in papers. And what is the condition? 9. Pipes exposed behind the drywall. Okay. So, the dining room, instead of, you know, having various things that a normal dining room would have, you know, cutlery, a table to sit on, it is just a desk, you know, covered in papers that are like strewn about. It doesn't seem like anyone has eaten here in quite some time. But something about this room just kind of makes me uneasy, a little on edge. I'm a little bit scared, and I'm not exactly sure what it is, so I think I should probably try to continue on through this house and get out of here. And that is a 9 of spades. 1 through 10, continue exploring. Nice. And so then I'm going to continue into the kitchen, I believe. Yeah. Go into the kitchen. Be like, I've always felt at home in a kitchen. It's got to be better than this room. And in the kitchen, you know, it's not the type of kitchen I was hoping for. You know, it makes me a little anxious. You know, there's a distant unknown planet in this location. And some type of claw marks cover the ground. So that makes sense that it would be restless and black-hearted. You know, I walk into the kitchen thinking that maybe I'll find some respite from the horrors that I've seen and smelled in this house, but no such luck. I don't even understand exactly what I'm looking at, I'm sure, as I see this planetary looking figure from inside, like this planetary looking object inside the house. And then, you know, all across the floor there's just claw marks from something that is clearly not human and clearly not of this world. And I'm not really sure exactly where to go, but I know I need to get out of here. And so I'm gonna look out and I'm gonna see that there's a doorway across the way, and then I'm gonna burst into the library and shut the door behind me. But as I do that, I drew a 4 of spades so I can continue exploring. And in the library, it feels cruel, but there's some humility. You know, as a very strict librarian once lingered in the halls of this house, and something cool happened. I got a 5 of clubs. So instead of unending mounds of sand, I find the clubs object that I needed to find. And a black windowless space. So we didn't want to tarnish the books. And so they didn't build windows in this library. Which, can you really blame them? Let's see, what was it that I found in the library? The library, I have found the camp here, in which I will Google. I'm not really sure, but that's okay. We found something that we're supposed to get, which is cool. So then before we leave and probably head up the stairs in the hall, we drew a 7 of spades and we get to continue. So we go up the stairs to the 2nd floor, and then I'll look around and probably, you know, as I come up the stairs, I'll take a look to my left, take a look to my right, as I'm facing down this way, this direction. And I'll probably go left. So then I'm going to see what is in this chamber. This chamber is pretty insignificant and colorless, you know, but that is a welcome feeling to the rooms downstairs. We found a monolith, a planet, really, really scary claw marks in the floor in the kitchen. The piano on the terrace was just weird. And then the rotting whatever under the tablecloth in the hallway. Like, I don't know, man. I just feel like you could get it together. But in this room, there is a heaving absurd lump of rotten meat. However, for whatever reason, it doesn't seem to smell quite like the thing downstairs did. And in this location, a corner in the ceiling is covered in mold. Again, somehow not producing another smell, and I'm not quite sure how that works. So then I I got a queen, so that's revealed 2 additional cards. We're gonna run out of time. That's a 10. And a joker. Remove the joker from the game and shuffle in 2 random cards from the discard pile. Is it supposed to be of just spades or 2 random cards from the discard pile? Because all of those have been going in the discard pile, so I'm just gonna random cards in the into the spades deck. But I will progress to the next location. Draw my cards. And I think it's time to look at the bathroom. And, you know, approaching the bathroom, it's just malevolent and overwhelming. I can't believe the beauty, the craftsmanship of this bathroom. My goodness. But a large door in the far corner, cold, emanates from it. And it's drafty and a wind is blowing. So the draft is probably from the deck. But otherwise, you know, this room, not too scary at all. And I drew an 8 of spades, so that means we get to continue adventuring. So I'm gonna look out on the deck. I'm gonna look out on the deck. And so I travel into the deck area. And I find an item that I need. So now I have 2 of the 3 items. I found the parchment. This is the material object. So I have the material object, the ancient element. All I need to find is the arcane artifact. But in this location is a burned deck of playing cards. I wonder if they brought the guy bad luck. Ooh, what a curve there. And exquisite relief designs of ancient figures. Interesting. So, other than the item that I have been searching for, nothing in this room really piques my interest. Like, maybe the designs of ancient figures, I look at them for a moment, but I probably ponder more about why the deck of cards was burned than about the ancient figures. I'm pretty excited that I found this parchment I've been searching for. And I believe that I will exit the deck and go into the owner's room. I got the 6 of spades, so I can do so freely. And so in the owner's room, let's see. It's very tense and almost too quiet. And except for the laughter of a small child. Empty, except in one corner. Okay, so in the owner's room, you know, everything's been moved out of it, and it's just a shell of what it once was, but left behind in the corner near the closet, there is but a doll. Like a porcelain doll, just propped up sitting in the corner. And whenever you look away from it, you can just hear the small sound, the faintest sound of child's laughter. And so that would prompt me to move back out into the hall and go investigate the next room I come to, which would be the music room. So let's see if I can do that. Oh, that's not good. The King of Spades. Reveal 3 additional cards. Uh-oh. So. Ooh, and there's more options than what I did. That's super cool. I did use the house at the bottom of this. So, I'm going to say that, you know, the scratches that I saw in the kitchen must have come from something that had been here recently. And you hear it come up the hall. And I try to hide in the closet in the music room, but it's stuffed full with instruments and clothes and various other stuff. And this creature comes and up the hall into the music room and claws me to my death. And I will forever live in Hill House. Oh my goodness. Wow. 2 out of 3 items, and then I died. Wow, I really like this game. This game is very fun. Just put my cards away. So yeah. That was my very first time playing the Portal at Hill House. Who was it by? I can't remember right now. Loading. Travis D. Hill and Lindy M. Ferris Hill. Portal at Hill House. If you're interested, you can find it online. If you search for it, it's the very first thing that pops up. Oh my gosh, I'm definitely gonna play that again. That was really fun. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But don't forget to be nice to people, and I'll see you next time.